Moshi Mosh, Sandas. Not much. I'm chilling and excited for a fun night of League of Legends gameplay. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not like they have anyone else offering to do it. I think Oxum said he was gonna do it as well, but he's currently in an ARAM game, so a mid cast join like. Okay. 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 They have started the draft. Mahusiv. Okay. Huge. Okay. I guess welcome everyone to the semi quite important losers bracket game. Team E tier, by the way, and losing piece. We are into pick ban, but it looks like D tier, by the way, has not banned. They're also not typing in chat, which makes me think we're gonna have to restart this this draft law link, as there's now 10 seconds for losing piece to ban. And check this. They're actually. I won't speak. I'm sure okay. Nobody can see anything. Oh, this is stellar. Truly. Yeah, we would just run back a new draft all, I think. Yeah. Let's just post a new link. Unlucky. Somebody turned on the ghost settings or something. Who knows?
Yeah, unfortunate. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try this again.
Fresh link definitely will show us the bans.
How's that? Let's take a look in here.
No way, draft law. Okay, so Shyvana's first ban.
Cool. Okay.
Interesting enough ban considering.
Yeah,
I don't think Lush is gonna really prio Shyvana, but
yeah, that's not. Would that be a jungle or is that good top lane at the
quick
moment?
GP ban. GP has been fairly popular. A nice cry and quick fire indeed. Hecarim's been solid for patches now, and it's definitely something I would have expected to be banned against Lush. I think it's something he's quite good at. And then Nyla removed against Mezzy that's simply because Niall really despises Niall as a champion. Allows a lot of brawling power and it's just not fun.
Zeriban.
Res-
Okay.
Response from Zeriban, supposedly very good on this patch. I don't know myself, but Niall has been practicing it. I just want to take that off the table. Mordekaiser follow-up, still good even after the nerfs, and then Kai'Sa, first pick, of course. Mezzi, an immense Kai'Sa player, and has a lot of carry potential on that champ.
So even with the nerf, Mordekaiser still priority pick jungle.
Yeah, and the flex top lane is also quite annoying to deal with, but
Yeah.
while he's not as oppressive as he used to be, people still really can make the champion work.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Maokai comes through, most
Blind.
probably top lane. If I had to guess, I mean, I know Sultan can also play that and support, but I know firsthand the power of Maokai, so that's going to be obnoxious to deal with regardless of what they pick into it. And Nami here denying it from zero ganks mid. Kind of opens it up for Niall to lock in Lucian here if he wants, but obviously he also has plenty of other options.
So what other options does Zero Gang Smith have if they're now taken away? Do they play Gage at all, or is it mostly Enchanters?
Yeah, so traditionally I would pick a Engage, something with CC to combo with Kai'Sa's passive. So
Yeah.
if I had to guess, I'd say a Nautilus pick would be really good here, especially something like Nami, but I think Zergangsmith, I kind of recall, I might be wrong, playing a fair few Enchanters, and Enchanters are kind of stronger at the moment. So, could come out. A Mumu, that's certainly a good pick. Uninterruptible, by the way.
Yeah. Also, I believe it's a pick against Sultan. So we'll see how that goes.
Sultan has the Nami locked in, so.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
But also the Aatrox coming out for Subdoodly can be quite good into the Maokai, but Maokai should just be quite unkillable. And there's the Lucian, kind of as predicted. The Nami obviously being the more important to that duo, especially with the Kai'Sa already locked in. So neither team really has a jungler locked in yet. Interesting enough.
So like, where do we think they're going to be looking here? Like, this Bean's going to go for something more like the Vi or anything like that, or?
Personally, I would expect Beans to crack out something that he's more known for, like a Sejuani, some kind of tank engage. I know they already kind of have a lot of tank engage, but maybe a Trundle. Trundle's also something Niall plays a lot. Beans.
Good against the Maokai,
yeah. Yeah, he kind of has a prime target there, but I guess we'll find out. Red team does have to pick first, and then blue team does double pick. Right now, both teams just kind of eliminating mid laners. Well, both teams, I say. Lush's team eliminating mid laners away from Celestion. Kind of trying to force him off mages and maybe onto comfort, which would for him would be kind of things like the Aurelion Sol, which a lot of players wouldn't fear that much. Okay, and this Trundle band coming out. Interesting. I wouldn't expect it. Beans to ban out the Trundle against Lush. I know he can also play it, but it also limits his own champ pool.
Looks like they've also picked K'Sante, so it looks like the Maokai might be going into jungle.
Yeah, that's a Maokai jungle. Probably. I know Dutch does play tank mid laners when called upon, so that they really could just be flexing this any which way.
Huh, okay.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably jungle, but this is pandemonium, honestly.
Oh, I did
Mundo.
like the Silas Solver. He had some good options there for ultis. But
So
Mundo's pretty good.
Yeah, Mundo jungle can be very solid. He does have a decent enough clear, and just with the way the game is, you do scale into infinity until you become unkillable, basically. Especially, there's no real tank killers on the side of losing peace here.
Yeah.
So maybe forces their hand on the draft to get a mage mid laner that can do it. Silas could potentially do it. He's got some good ults here. Swain ult, Amimu ult, Aatrox ult, all pretty decent.
Yeah, Maokai ult, or yeah, go on. That's what I'm saying, like, I would have thought Maokai ult for blue side would be great, because even if it's getting the Maokai, like would make it so huge for your engaged fights to follow up on with the Moo, like. But they're going to go
Is
for
here.
for Peel. Okay.
Yeah, I can knock the Moo and the Swain out. Maybe the Aatrox a bit too. But also just a really good tank shredder for AP. He can potentially get the Leandries here as a to augment it, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he does just stick to the standard Azir build of Ludens and such. Hopes he kind of outscales everything. Okay. Thankfully, they are also following the bans for the Battlefly's sake. So, I mean, a couple interesting things to comment on this draft. Losing Peace, going for a very aggressive bot lane with the Lucian Nami, kind of well-known bot lane stomper. That kind of shows a lot of confidence. You know, the Varus was up. A lot of kind of decent enough ADCs were available for Null and Sultan to play, but they're kind of gone for it. And that Nami ult is going to be really massive against a lot of these. This mainly melee comp from D tier. Whether he can use it effectively is going to be the question. Kind of hard to use the tidal wave against a Mumu, as he can just Q ulti in immediately. And then, other than that, Maokai. I've not seen Maokai. Okay, what? Okay, so thankfully, Beans keeping Irish League of Legends alive by locking in the wrong champion, so we can restart. I also look forward to the traditional Irish League of Legends pause as soon as we get into game. The only other major thing is kind of damage spread. Swain can deal damage when he gets ahead. Generally, he's more of a slow DPS, but you know, they have the Kai'Sa kind of hyper carry. They have Aatrox, but they're all relatively kind of short range champions. So how they play around this with all the peel that you've mentioned, the Nami wave, the Azir ult, Maokai ult. It might be hard to kind of get on top of people with the Aatrox and the Swain. And Kai'Sa doesn't exactly want to dive into the back, where she can get just Maokai rooted and blown up by Lucian.
Okay. Sorry, just making sure everything was working there fine.
Hopefully we don't get any mispicks in the draft.
Yeah.
If things start going downhill.
I mean, I've already written off my evening. You know, it'll take as long as it takes. You know.
I have several bottles of wine on ready, on hand. If these things start going down the toilet like. But okay, we've survived the draft phase.
Cool.
Gonna have like a nice 4-minute break now.
Nice.
1 minute for draft and then 3 minutes spectator delay.
Yeah. So we can go to break briefly while we're waiting on all that. Give your voice a break. But yeah, let me know, guys, if audio's all okay. Everything's working fine. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so we'll see how it goes. But we shall talk to you in a little bit.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, play. Let me get objective timers up while I think about it. Okay. Quick little fix the scoreboard on my end. Okay, anything really interesting to comment on? I mean, Nile has gone for the... Okay, that's flash out of Sultan. Maybe a bit AFK. Also really just shouldn't be standing there on red. Kind of a big summoner spell, because it allows zero ganks mid to just flash in level 2. Flash Q. They don't have the ignite to follow up, but hopefully shouldn't need it against Sultan with no flash, and then Mezzy can just W for a big burst of damage. Q, couple autos.
Yeah, that's good so far.
But yeah,
Niles opted for the first strike here. Obviously great for lane. It gives them a chance to snowball and burst people early. But I feel like he's going to really suffer later on, as kind of alluded to in the draft. They don't really have anything to do with anything to kill any of the tanks from D tier. So maybe press the attack would give him an extra bit of strength. Probably doesn't impact it in the long run, but it's rough. Be interested to see what Axion can do here on the K'Sante. Might be able to put in some work, and he could be one of the people to deal with the tanks. We see a good trade now. Should be Ak favored, but maybe Subdually can trade back some Qs. Yeah, Axion coming out on top. Procking his grasp and stacking, but obviously Subdually will have a bit more sustain once he gets level 2 and gets that E with the passive healing.
I mean, well, I'll let him Sultan and draw that next.
Yeah, obviously quite experienced and talented bot lane players. They know double range bot lane against relatively short ranged melee support. They should always get showed. Force the level 2. Do indeed get it into terror. Both junglers start topside, so possibility for meeting up bot lane for a gank, but it looks like Beans is skipping his red buff, looking for something mid lane first, while Lush goes for his full gank, his full clear and stuff again. Dutch though, kind of intelligently just ease out with this quick shuffle. Beans does blow Ghost, kind of limits his early game gank potential.
Lush.
Skullcrab not spawning for another 15 seconds. Neither. Okay, all in here comes from D tier, by the way. They do blow exhaust. Nothing traded back out of Nile or Sultan, so coming out on top there. But still no real punish for Sultan blowing the flash early. He will have it back up in the next about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, right? Because like, unless you can land a solid Amumu Q, like you're just gonna CC into the big wave and just get killed by an illusion. So, I really punch into 30.
Okay. Nice stall there from Axion, but Subdually now. Kind of coming out on the trades now that he's got that sustain I mentioned on his E up. He's able to kind of sustain after these trades and managing the wave quite well. Some really good Qs.
So is this just a good match for Aatrox in general, or does K'Sante kind of win this at a later point?
So, personally I would back the Aatrox to win this. I can't say I know for certain. K'Sante is usually best into tanks. Yeah. He doesn't really have a lot of good damage or trading for people who can actually fight him back.
Yeah, which is, I suppose it's kind of weird that they take them in that case, right? If they were going to flex him outside, I think they'd go for someone else.
He does have a nice setup here with Lush here now. Oh, and the flash comes out late, so this will be a kill. They should give it to K'Sante, but I mean, they're kind of trolling.
No way.
Not a hope. Okay, well they've got to turn on Beans. Act could go down here. Beans doesn't have flash or ghost up, but he might get him still. He does.
Wow.
Okay, and that's just an out-and-out misplay as they get a double kill. So this is kind of the worst case scenario. Niall maybe gets the trade back onto Mezzy. He has flashed up. He doesn't want to flash into tower with the Amumu still having a second Q charge.
Holy moly!
All action. But yeah, bit of a communication error there top lane. Lush obviously wanting to hand the kill over to Axine, but missing his third Q, and then giving Subduedly a chance to run out. Null runs up, picks up both kills. Probably the person you least want to see get kills on this D tier, by the way, team. As Lucian's not killing him.
Yeah.
Azir maybe can kill him, probably not. Mundo's kind of his prime thing for tanking against his magic champs. Quite good with them more weakness against physical. He's kind of the counterpart to Rammus for mages.
That's scary already. I'm assuming that he's rushing Heartsteel like everyone else, right?
Yeah, he probably will. That said, you really never know with Beans. Beans will build whatever Beans wants. You could have that Righteous Glory or whatever item because he just decides to. But my expectation should be Heartsteel. It combos very well with.
Okay, other bot ring for Dragon. Dragon's good, maybe caught out here.
Yeah, they do get a big chunk, but the more important thing is the Mundo. It's kind of, yeah, okay. Splitting the team there. Dutch Source trapped on the outside. Once again, Beans blows the ghost, scares off Dutch Source, doesn't get his flash or anything as he again just shuffles out.
Yeah, Subduedly does have TP here if they do want to start fighting, but it seems like teams are just backing off for the moment.
Yeah, neither team really wanting to go for it. Celestion getting shuffled under tower, the actual Shurima shuffle. He gets picked up here by Dutch Source, really nice play. Adrian Celestion just getting a bit too aggressive there. You know, seeing he can out-trade Dutch Source, but not respecting the fact that he can't out-trade a tower.
Yeah, up to Dragon now as well. Meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah, we might see Axine going down here. It's going to be really difficult for him to win this fight after the top lane fight earlier. But doesn't seem like. Okay, Axine. Oh, that is tragic. Axine almost outplays the hell out of Subduedly. Doesn't get the tower shot in the end, and Subduedly does just take him out, but almost happens. And in the meantime, Lush and Co just take the Drake with you know, D tier by the way just giving it up with their mid laner being dead. Okay.
There's been a lot of things from Niall here.
Yeah, this has been a non-stop action there the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, so let's take stock here. So Beans still with the big goal lead on himself, nearly 3k alone. And Subduedly as well, so big lead in the top side. Meanwhile, bot side struggling a little bit, but not too badly, down by 300 gold. So
yeah, that gold lead's going to be closer to 400 or 500 with the way Niall has the wave set up. But the more important thing is the strength and balance. They have 6 on Niall, they don't have level 6 on Mezzy or Zergank mid, so they really can't walk up to contest that wave. So I expect Niall to kind of control that wave a lot longer, especially with the combo they have of Lucian Nami.
Lush is hovering top here, but I'm not sure what he's going to do from this angle.
Yeah, and Beans is there behind, so we could see another travesty now here for Lush. See the strength of Mundo just ignoring the CC, but besides Axine or Subduedly can't follow up on Axine or Lush with the Twisting Embrace coming through.
Meanwhile, bot lane still very much in control. So yeah, just some ultis traded there. Not much happens top lane.
Okay. Mezzy and Amumu have to be. Mezzy and Zergank's made have to be very careful here. They do have the Amumu ult, but they really just can't walk up. Yeah, we do see that the cleanse come out of Niall. Just precautionary, maybe not needed, but they were at risk of getting dove there.
they're going to grab themselves at least one plate now with that back from the bot lane, so couldn't grow that gold lead, but still looking fairly good for D tier at the moment. Given as you said, like the Mundo's going to be super hard to kill. Well, Celestian's getting pounded on in the mid lane though.
Yeah, that lane has really switched against him ever since Dutch Force got that solo kill. He could be dead here. He does have Lush here to save him, so he should get out fine. But no flash burn yet again. Just does not seem to need that summoner spell. But important thing will be the next Drake fight in about 2 minutes. I feel like we'll start to see hopefully mythic spikes coming out for that. Both bot laners very close to it. Mid laners have components. Beans should have it with his lead. So could be a bit of a explosive fight if both teams set up for it.
Yeah, the only thing is that Subduty doesn't have his CP axing does, so it can be a numbers advantage if Losing Peace do set it up correctly. We'll see how that goes though.
Also, all kind of major cooldowns / summoner spells so far up. Nobody's just wasting their ult before the Drake. Everyone has flash. The only thing missing is Beans' Ghost, which I don't think is the end of the world. Okay. I mean, Subtitly can fight this if he wants. I wouldn't commit the ult yet because it's a bit of a chase down. But just force act off the wave. And also to note is act did burn TP there to get back to lane, so we won't have it for the Drake in 30 seconds.
Well, never mind then.
Nobody has recalled.
Yeah, no. Neither side seems really in a rush to go for this right now.
Okay, nice flash there by Adrian. Protect himself. That also means there's no Emperor's Divide or any potential Drake fight, but
okay,
yeah, it's in 12 seconds and nobody's moving, so both junglers is running at it.
Beans has got himself the Radiant Virtue, I believe it's called. Instead of the Heart Seal. Which I mean it does make some sense for Mundo, right? Because you're healing yourself and your team the moment you press ulti.
Yeah.
And he does stack a lot of health, so maybe it makes sense. But I don't know.
I think it makes a lot of sense considering their draft. And I did mention it at the start where I would expect Heartsteel from most Mundo players, but I kind of expect the Radiant Virtue because it's Nile.
What would you go for item? Is the thing.
Okay, all in here. The Mundo is coming in behind. I don't know if they know. They don't. This could be catastrophic. They managed to pop the Mumu or the Mundo passive when the Mumu went in, so Beans got trapped, and now here comes Lush. This could be a cleanup. A Mumu down. Beans probably going down here to Nile. Still seeing the strength of that fucking Mundo. And then flash burn out of Mezzi. That's going to be potentially tower, honestly. Plates should be falling off shortly. And also important to note that during that kind of bot lane scuffle, Lush just takes the Drake for free again. So that's 2 Drakes to lose in peace.
Okay.
This is
big round. Got themselves a bit small goal lead now overall. Because the Doodley still has himself a fairly big lead up here in the top lane, but if Knowledge can come against himself snowballed ahead, maybe they can start putting through this Mundo fairly quickly in the fights. Celestian very cut out here.
He bops the ghost, but he should just be dead. Unless, no, please. Oh, he is just gonna ghost out. He is just fucking. He's Ayrton Senna. He's Michael Schumacher. He's won the Monaco Grand Prix. This is atrocious. You genuinely hate to see it. I feel like they probably could have closed in on him a bit more, but they're too focused on handing the kill over to Dutch. They do get the charge off top lane. Not gonna get the tower, obviously. Still all towers up on the map.
Beans is hovering. Not sure he's gonna be this angle though.
Yeah, but Beans needs to just power farm at this point. He's falling behind a bit in EXP. He's not clearing his jungle. He's kind of looking to help his laners, because all of his laners are losing except for Subduedly here. And kind of, if you look at the state of his jungle camps, he's not clearing them linearly, which really messes up his ability to set up ganks for himself.
And the thing is, he doesn't necessarily really have to help his lanes that much, right? Because like bot lane's not super far behind the curve. Mid lane's struggling a little bit, but like he's kind of skating with his roller. And top lane's doing fine. So yeah, you should just kind of power on this end.
Okay, and they turn this around.
Oh!
Oh, that is really, really well played. Honestly, kind of by both bot lanes. A really nice wave by Sultan to cancel the CC. But then Messi and Zero ganks mid noticed a slight overextension by Niall, and they do pick him up. Now a little follow-up. You know, Dutch Source not wanting to let them get away for that perceived disrespect to his bot lane. But Beans, you know, after clearing Wolves, his only other camp was Krugs, forcing him to run all the way bot lane at the same time. And Celestion followed, and they picked him up, like.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lush just hovering topside. I guess he was looking for something, but didn't end up working out for him. Yeah, another kill for the Mundo.
Yeah. But also important to note is first blood turret did go down in mid lane while we were watching that bot play. So first blood turret gold, and opens up the map now a bit for Losing Please.
Yeah, Dutch definitely gonna look golden. He's gonna reset now. Should get his first item. That's back that. I assume, is that Leandry's? Yeah, Leandry's, yeah.
So he is going for that tank killing. Niall also opting for the Kraken Slayer for a bit of tank killing, where you'd usually see Gale Force. I think they kind of realized the fact that they're at a bit of a draft disadvantage, in my opinion. They don't have the tools to deal with tanks. If they can't deal with it, as I said, with the amount of peel they have to stop the tanks from getting on top of them. They play it very well, but obviously that's just a lot more challenging.
Well, it makes it harder when Mundo can just ignore your CC.
Yeah, but important to note, Beans Niall picked up another one of those kills bot lane, so again continues to scale into some monster. And then the other kill obviously going over to Mezzi, which is exactly what you want if you're D tier. Mezzi is a bit of a hyper carry genius, and as the Kite said, he's the main damage threat on this D tier roster or draft. Third Drake spawning, 15 seconds. We see Lush setting up, got shove in bot, shove in mid. Subduedly's recalling and has TP up, maybe, no. Neither top laner playing for this TP around bot lane. Not recalling for items or anything.
Yeah, it seems to be happy just to stick in the 1v1. Especially for Subduedly, but... yeah, I mean, they just have complete control here. Unless Beans can get in there.
Beans, I guess, is just running in. They're all just running in.
Okay.
I mean, we managed to force out a good ult in a horrible situation, but here we're kind of seeing what I was talking about. They're having to run into all of this peel from Losing Peace, and it's just not going well. Aatrox picks up the Azir on this back, and he's got a flank. Niall's overextended. Niall should be dead. Really nice K'Sante ult to take him out, but the rest of his team's just going to go die in the meantime, I think. Mezzi pick everyone up, and what seemed like a really nice fight for Losing Peace just falls to shreds. You know, they don't respect the Subduedly's on the side. He's picked off their kind of only AP threat in his ear, and then, you know, somehow, you know, D tier survives the first just sprint into the brick wall of fire and flames, and then when they go to do it the second time, there's no cooldowns from Losing Peace. They only have the peel for one engage, and they don't have the tank killing, so they can't kill them on the first counter.
And it's so much healing as well, so you also have to invest in fucking, like,
anti-heal, yeah.
Yeah, Grievous Wounds, like, it's just, like, so difficult to kill them.
And just the one ignite coming out of Sultan, I do expect him to be picking up the Chemtech Putefire, which should help, but I don't think that's gonna make a major impact. Maybe the fight goes differently if they respect the Aatrox and don't overcommit. I don't know, maybe if there's a missed call on comms, they didn't keep it clear and they couldn't hear it, but yeah. Dutch dying on the side, and then Subduedly just destroys the center of Losing Peace.
Being just so fed, holy shit, like, and the Aatrox, like, it's just... Oh.
Okay, they do make a pick here bot lane. Mezzy will go down, and so will Zero Ganks mid. A really nice counter.
Wow, okay.
Abusing the fact that the flash was used by Zero Ganks mid in the last fight to force a good Amumu ult, so Lush just flashes on him, and Mezzy himself is overextended, so he blows the flash, but he dies. And nice little bit of gold now in Niall's pockets. He gets a tower, gets a wave, gets the kills. He has LDR, he should be able to finish boots too, maybe get his IE next. Maybe potentially the Navori quick blades. Okay, K'Sante ult should pick him up. Another pickup.
Yeah, a lot of stacks off there at all. On the Revenus, so... Yeah, pretty good patch of play so far. From Losing Peace. Is that a AP Maokai? Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah. I do expect him to tech more into tank now, as it does synergize really well with Demonic, but I think that is the correct decision by Lush. They need any kind of damage they can get somewhere, and he's not sacrificing that much tankiness as it is Demonic. He does have a large amount of HP on it.
Cool. So what we got coming up? So we got Dragon in 2 minutes. Both bot lane and the tank tower is down for D tier, so it's going to be harder for them to position for that. Looks like Lose are descending their bot lane top to try to get that last tower. But they're going to have to retouch in if they're going to get that starting again.
Yeah, Drake's in 130. They can maybe get the next wave in, but I don't think they can really hang around here. I mean, if they want, they could just give up the tower, or not tower, the Drake, and go for the tower. If they think it's more worthwhile and they're not valuing the second Drake, as it is relatively unimportant. But I guess on the flip side, they do have wards deep in the D tier, by the way, jungle. So they can see Mundo is currently top with the Drake spawning in less than a minute. So is the Amumu as he runs into the top side jungle. Getting vision around the Baron just to make sure there's no a wave out. They will pick him up. There's no escaping here. Really nice pick there by Sultan, followed up by Niall and Dutch. This potentially just gives them the Drake for free. It is third Drake.
They've no like hard engage off this unless like Celestion has like a really good roost. But some of the architects can't do anything. Because if they walk in with that Maokai also, they'll just all die.
We do see Jack Shows coming out from the side of Losing Peace, so tankiness coming out.
Jack Shows, okay.
See how that works out for them. Yeah. There is relatively decent tank killing on the side of D tier, by the way, just purely from the Kai'Sa. But you know, this has been a really slow setup by Losing Peace, so it has given D tier, by the way, time to get in position and for Amumu to respawn. He's going around the back. He does have the flank. We do see Ghost out of Celestion. Missed the first Q, but they've been forced completely back off into their own jungle. There's no way they should be able to take this Drake. Celestion can keep running at them. They should be just doing the Drake in the meantime. We do see Niall starting it up. They're turning back onto Celestion, but the Drake's been picked up now, so the rest of them can turn in. Axion has the flank. Can he get anything off it? No, Dutch Source does get the Emperor's Divide. They trade 1 for 1. K'Sante takes Subduedly out. Mezzy gets picked off by Niall. This is massive.
Whoa.
Beans left isolated. He might be able to pick up Niall here, as Subduedly might go down to Axion. And Zero Ganks mid, recalling in the bush, does get away. Niall potentially gets away now, but he should get popped back here by Lush. they do pop the vision plant or the blast cone, and Lush, with that extra little bit of damage provided to him by Demonic, can maybe chip away at Nile or at Beans' HP. Could be a bit difficult. Okay, and Sultan picks it up there in the end from his W. This
Okay,
does open up the opportunity to take Baron. They have TP on Axine. TP's to mid wave, and he's running straight there. Dutch Source also has TP. He's also being to mid wave. It is just zero ganks mid at the moment. The rest of D tier are sprinting there at Mach 10 speeds. Mezzi and Celestion, and there's a TP up for Subduedly, whether they want to follow up on this or not. It does TP. The Drake Baron's already down. They really need to collapse on this if they want to punish them. But the people who don't have dashes are out, and the people who do have dashes are the last ones. Axine may go down for the sins of his team, but all in all, a positive play as he does force the flash out of Melzi as he almost kills him.
Okay, but big power pick though gets on 4 people, and again they're just continuing to balloon their gold leads. Again, to the point where they actually are able to frank those shred those tanks actually pretty quickly in these fights when they are split up.
Yeah, really nice team fight there from Lose in Peace. They got completely zoned away from the Drake. Really had no business doing anything, but D tier, by the way, split and didn't cover each other's backs, and we saw Axine and the guys punish it. Dutch Source a really nice Emperor's Divide, and when D tier tried to then commit to the fight, knowing they're stronger and should win it, just a load of nice individual outplays managed to swing the fight in the favor of Lose in Peace. We saw Nile pick up Mezzi in the middle of the team fight, which is really immense. Axine chasing down Subduedly and killing his ass. Not something I expected.
Yeah.
I know K'Sante is very strong, but Subduedly has been kind of quite dominant in this match of all game. I don't know, maybe he's just a bit too tanky now for Subduedly to do anything. And now a fight in the topside jungle. Okay, really nice bubble. Twisting advance, picks up a Mumu, forces the ult out of Beans, and just not looking good now for D tier. They did have the advantage, but they didn't pick. Instead, they've been capitalized on. Celestion down, rooted by Maokai, and I guess all that team fighting strength has disappeared in the face of an overwhelming gold difference and stat difference with this Baron buff up. They're not capitalizing on positional advantages where Lose in Peace are. They're finding these isolations and they're punishing them. The overextension and the overaggression from D tier. 2 towers go down.
Yeah, just continuing to swing that gold lead pretty hard. Oh my lord, look at the gold on Nile. Jesus. Yeah, like he is so fucking strong right now. And look, and you guess he's going for Maw next or no? Okay, no. Not sure what he's buying. There we go.
Yeah, and I see the Boots of Swiftness on the Mundo. I think that's a poor play, poor decision. Definitely think Tavi's the correct play here. I know it might be a bit late, but movement speed with his ulti and Ghost shouldn't be a priority.
Yeah, like the only way it looks like they can win the fight right now is that if Subtly gets another like massive flank right on top of Annihilation, because it's pretty difficult for them to like walk at this team.
Yeah, they're not able to just run into their face anymore due to this quite substantial gold lead. I do think if they don't overextend and get picked, they can definitely do well, as we do see them running in now. You see the Twisting Advance counter. Ghost comes out of Beans, but that is Celestion's ult, which is kind of important for them. It's part of their whole tanky death ball. And Axine's now looking to see if he can pick off Celestion. Subduedly is on the flank. Could potentially E over to the blue pit and get behind them. And they do pull the trigger. They go in on Celestion. Great ult from it. And here comes Subduedly.
Oh, it's
big
big.
Emperor's Divide, but it is just a bit of a mess and cluster in the back. Nile goes down, gets picked up. Beans gets picked up by Mezzy. Beans is left as the only kind of person, but Subdoodly is following in behind. He should pick up Axiom before the Aatrox can get over, but he's getting a bit kited to Kingdom Come. Potentially dangerous third Q there from Axiom brings Subdoodly on top of himself, but Lush showing the power of Maokai against this Aatrox as he out-sustains Aatrox at his own game.
Oh my God.
They do just kite him and bounce him around until he's dead. Third Drake should have gone for Lush. And that is an absolutely mess of a fight.
Jesus.
Really nice ult from the Amumu. Great flank from Subdoodly, and it's looking ideal. They pick off Nile, but in the midst of it, Dutch Source massive ulti to kind of tear people apart, and Lush and Axiom just the two tanks on the team that I thought was gonna have to struggle against the tanks. Their tanks come out on top. Power of Jack Show is absolutely immense.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was... They were sustaining for so fucking long there and just kept using him to death. Like, that was... Yeah, that's pretty fucking... Jeez.
Right. Potentially showing Beans that he should have gone Jack Show, or at least Heartsteel instead of the Righteous Glory. Is they were just completely unkillable.
Yeah, like, it's done decent healing, but, like, not really what you want. These fights just not sustaining long enough.
Yeah, and I don't know. This is going to be interesting to watch. I think the fight could have gone a lot better if Celestion had held his demonic ascension and hadn't used it at the start. He did manage to escape the thing all-out engage from Losing Peace, which was really well played by him and his team to get him out of there. But they do need that pseudo tank in the Swain to just keep kind of burning down and chipping away at everyone's health bars. We see Lush get a point and click, Celestion going in for it again. Potentially could pick up onto Cassante, but it's Cassante, so he's going to walk out, wait for safety. Beans looking on the flank. I don't know, potentially trying to clear out vision so they can't just run to Baron, or maybe get in behind.
Baron, not in power in the meantime, but yeah, just going to start the Baron here.
No real wards to TP onto. Beans is there for the steal. I guess they're just going to sacrifice him. And he does steal it. Oh my god, Lush in shambles. I'd also like to comment that the fact that he does not have Jack Show and just stood in the middle of 5 people for a solid 5 seconds after stealing that without dying is absolutely disgusting. Please, Riot Games, fix your game.
Not if he had Jack Show, like, Jesus.
Well, Subdoodly picks up the inhib, but in the meantime, in another great Emperor's Divide, they pick up Celestion. Zero Gang's mid tries to follow back up. Doesn't, dies, Axiom TP's in, and this could just be the game. It's quite...
It's so
just
difficult.
overextensions here from D tier, by the way. Subdoodly can't recall there. He's got cancelled by Cassante. Had to walk back and then recall. His teammates are just getting punished, and he escaped the Cassante, and they're going to be forced off here. But really dangerously played there by D tier. Really nice, just a lot of amazing Emperor's Divides here from Dutch Source.
Yeah, he is actually on point with these here this game. I've not seen him play this well before.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, actually, like, he's just picking off people left, right, and center.
Mezzy going in. He does assassinate Sultan, but he gets picked up by Nile in response, and Nile will kite out Subdoodly and pick him up. Dush going to the safest team. Obviously, he's never going to survive against that Mundo. But yeah, maybe a bit of desperation there. If Mezzy manages to pick up Nile before Sultan, then obviously that'll go great for him. Big gold swing, but not so lucky.
Did manage to at least pick up an inhibitor in the meantime, so they've got some pressure on that lane in the meantime to kind of even out things in that regard. But
yeah,
it's,
Drake and 120, sole point for Losing Peace. Not gonna lie, if they do pick up this Chemtech ult with the extra damage resistance and just the soul buff, I do feel like this Mundo and this Cassante are going to become completely immortal. So I'd be very wary of this. Being Burns ult as he gets caught behind a rock in a hard place, I do believe he could have just attempted to run out, but maybe a bit wary that Lush could get in range for a root and then Dutch Source Emperor's divides him.
Back by the time the Emperor low.
And Beans getting what we call the classic Blast Cone play. He should get picked up here, but it is not Mundo. He does not run out as he does not have the ulti up still, but yeah, that's a really annoying Mundo interaction where if the enemy team procs Blast Cone on Mundo, it procs his passive and doesn't knock him back. So not only did Beans not get the advantage of getting knocked over the wall to safety, he also loses CP immunity. So kind of disgusting. I do think should not be there without his teammates with backup. Maybe looking to another hero play with a Smite Steal, but Lush not letting that happen to himself again. And I do think this seals the end for D tier for game 1 at least. Niall tries to make a little engage on Messi, but without the Gale Force, it's not gonna pick that up.
No, Subtlety really needs to start recalling now. He's gonna help me try to defend it.
He has forced Dutch Source to match, which if anything I think is a really positive trade for D tier. I think Dutch Source is, as we said, been really immense in these team fights. Would not be surprised to see Dutch Source Azir, of all things, to be banned in the next game.
Could they look for the chase here?
They could look for a rundown, but I don't think they will get anything. Niall has recalled, so it was profitable, but there's no flank wards for Subtlety to TP2 or anything, so... and Sultan with the wave ult, the twisting advance up, the Emperor's Divide, there's just so much peel on the side of losing Peace that... it's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Niall now being 6 items, won't be getting any stronger. Does, as I say, have said, has bought items spec for killing these tanks. Has been able to so far throughout. So, I don't know, maybe losing Peace can outscale now. It's going to be hard to tell, you know. Celestion's still sitting on 2 items at this point. Kind of quite the power deficit.
He should have enough for Zhonya's now, I think, if he gets back in time.
Yeah, he does indeed. I'm pretty sure it's like 40 gold combined cost. I don't know if he just rushed out or what. But he has all the components, so should have been able to purchase it for quite little.
I mean, he still has time if he backs out.
Messi is dead. Messi is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, flashes out. Heal comes out as well, so might escape. He does.
Ooh.
Blows all of his cooldowns. Gets Axiom's flash and his ulti, but I don't think that's really going to bother him. Baron up in 10 seconds. They should just kind of get this for free. Beans once again. Solid Snake. Sat behind. Hopefully they have it. Okay, no, the Blast Cone's not even up yet, so they can't even deny it. But no flash out of Mundo means he can't get into here, so the Baron will go over. Subtleti's TP'd in. He's found Sultan. He might be able to just pick him up, but another great Emperor's Divide from the Azir to save him. Ult comes in, but Zero Kangsmid is alone and dead. Subtlety cannot go back in. He's basically dead. Beans now isolated. Celestion and Messi are completely out of the fight. Never even got near on the other side of a wall. We're seeing a recreation of Berlin Cold War. Yeah, I mean, they just run it down mid now. I think at this point should be able to pick up top inhib as well once they pick up mid inhib. I do expect one last defense here from D tier, but you know, Baron buff is active, so 1 tower to defend the Nexus. TP out of Cassante, so they get an infinite scaling or tanking. Celestion goes in, does what he can. Subduedly's trying to follow back up, but Tara's already gone, and these guys are not taking any damage. They are full HP, a lot of them. Big Subduedly, Beans on the flank.
Oh, big!
But this is just a tank meta. This is tank League of Legends. Axine is dead, but important to note, Lush isn't dead yet, so he's just doing the exact same thing. Dutch Source is pumping out damage, but it's just I just hate League of Legends and what it's become. Really good game now. Well played by Losing Peace. You know, it was looking quite dire for them for a while, but they came back off that initial dragon fight, found some isolation plays to get them ahead, and then just outplayed in the 1 or 2 team fights to put D-tier in a position where they were really fighting up against it. So Dave, who do you think is really the MVP or the ace for this first game we just watched?
Right, if I was gonna give an ace, I would say Subduedly. I think he had a pretty good performance in top lane with the Aatrox. Didn't manage to leverage the advantage enough, but that's kind of the same for his entire team, unfortunately, with the sort of advantages that they had early on. But my MVP for game 1, it has to be Dutch Source. Like, honestly, so many fucking clutch Azurials just to separate the teams, make the pickoffs, and just got them super rocketed them ahead in the mid game. Like, that was a massive performance.
Definitely gonna have to agree with you on that. Dutch Source, while he didn't really have a lot of kills up until the end, really did have some massive Emperor's Divides. He pumped out the damage, and most importantly, at the last team fight there, as we saw, he was the only person still standing who didn't have 500 armor, 500 more, and 8k HP. So respect for not succumbing to building all these HP stackers and going a tank mid laner. I really appreciate that.
So
interesting to see if they'll leave this Azir open next game after that kind of performance.
Yeah, and see if they kind of change up their kind of comp in general, because it seems like their version of the tank death ball didn't necessarily work. So we'll see if they kind of switch things up. We shall go to break short in the meantime while we're waiting for game 2. So we'll talk to you guys a little bit.
God damn. Game 2 already. Okay, so kind of similar bans to what we saw in Game 1. Shyvana, Hecarim, the Gangplank and Nyla, and then we see the Syndra ban being moved to the first rotation.
Okay.
And then Mordekaiser once again coming out of D tier, by the way. So
Zir still left open for the source after
yeah,
his MVP performance.
Salty Runback is open, is on the card still, if they so choose. The only difference is Cinder ban coming out here. So Maokai once getting picked up by Lush. Obviously, he has seen the light, and he just is Team Trees.
Yep. And it's still open as a flex if they really want to. So
yeah, could go top if they so choose, but I don't think it matters where it goes, as Lush was 0-2 doing absolutely nothing, and then he did not die for the entire rest of the game, so that is balanced. Aatrox coming out once again for Subduedly.
okay.
Did have some good plays there, but struggled late game into the tanks. So could have gone either way, to be honest, so not entirely against picking up the Aatrox again. You do have to just bet on yourself in some of these series.
Yeah, I wonder now though. So it looks like they're looking for more control this time, rather than going for the Swain. They've got the Veigar for a bit more kind of zone with the baby cage.
Yeah,
And scaling as well.
I do like the Veigar. It doesn't give you the same impact as an Emperor's Divide, but for Celestion here, I felt like he did struggle a lot on this. On the Swain last game, he found it hard to make an impact, so he can do something similar to the Emperor's Divide by just putting down the baby cage, and then whatever tanks losing piece pick are gonna have to run around it. So kind of can play a more defensive role than offensive role like he had to last game.
Would you say he struggles with tank killing, like later on, even though it scales?
He should be fine because, well, theoretically Veigar should struggle with tank killing, but as he's kind of in for the scaling and AP, he should be able to do fine.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't get too far behind, or if we see like last game, the game kind of stretch out a bit, he can really pump out. And well, there's a champ who does not struggle with killing tanks right there.
Oh,
Mezzy going for the Vayne. I've seen Niall play the Vayne, and that did not end well for him. But I think Vayne is traditionally quite good into Zeri. I would expect to see kind of support bans here to stop Sultan from playing any kind of enchanter that they don't want to see with the Zeri.
Maybe Navi ban so you don't have that peel. Although there is also like the Renata as well. It's also really good.
Yeah, I prefer to see the only issue with banning Renata, I guess, from D tier, by the way, is they would want Renata. Renata's really good with the Vayne, and they have the first pick. So they ban the Karma because they know they're not going to pick it, and that's very good with Zeri, and then they get rid of the Silas, kind of limit the mid lane options. Lulu comes out, ban comes out. I think that's understandable. You really don't want extra survivability, and the damage output it gives the Vayne. I would expect Renata Gloss here. I think it's a really good pick.
I think I would have liked an Azir ban over the Silas, honestly. Like, does Silas really have many good ulti options here?
Well, he will have the Veigar ult, and I guess the Aatrox ult is historically really good on Silas. And then they have the advantage of they know what they're going to be playing. So Set comes out here, that's pretty good for Silas, allows him to get into the back line without using his E. Expect that to be for Beans for Niall. I don't know if Set jungle is good. I don't know if they're role swapping or something, but
I mean it's his comfort, right? That's his main champion. So
it's Niall, so I know it's him. And there's Sultan on Harley has picked Zilean. Not too much of a shocker. Extra movement speed for Zeri, really nice. Allows him the cock block against the Veigar ult.
Yep.
As long as he times it right, he's fine. And a lot of people can find that the Zilean quite annoying. He can put that slow down on the Vayne, on the Aatrox, and then double bomb, and Dutch going back to the Azir. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like.
Yeah, like I don't know. It feels a bit of like a draft gap again here. Like like how does this team get on top of them? Like with Maokai Azir there.
Yeah. Personally, I do think D tier did have a slight draft advantage last game. We saw it early game, but once they fell behind, they really struggled. Especially because they enabled Nile to get the gold to kind of kill tanks, and that really allowed him to pop off in team fights in situations I really didn't think he had any business being in. And then Dutch Source just mechanically really dominant. Surprising to say that, but he was kind of a major factor for why that last game went so well. His Emperor Divides really messed up the team fights there for D tier. Interesting last pick of Xerath. I'm lost, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do definitely much prefer losing pieces draft this game. I do not understand the identity of D tier. In a solo queue environment, it makes sense. You just beat your opponents and win.
Yeah, like I guess you're just trying to like poke Mountain Lane, right? Just try to press them a bit, but like, yeah, I don't really understand it here. Like for me, the biggest danger, especially like because Mezzi, yeah, he is a great. Obviously, Vayne's a great tank killer, but when you're so short range against something like Azir, and like Maokai as well, like it's so easy for them to just get on top of you, and then just like zone you out of a fight or just straight up murder you.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels kind of desperate.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really hammered home the point last game, but I felt like last game, even though MVPs were to the carry players, that the major impact from both teams were the tanks. Whoever was the tankiest just won, and whoever was the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
And we see the same two tank pairing from losing Peace, and we really have no response here from D tier. Nile Beans will probably spec towards a tankier set, but Set at his core identity is a bruiser, so he's not as adept as being maybe a Maokai or K'Sante when you build him tanky. He doesn't have the same sustain or the cooldown on his CC.
No.
You never know. He could just straight up counter K'Sante with a big pile driver into the middle lane of your team and 1v9 it.
Yeah, is the set or is it down for that based on...
This was something I was going to ask. I really didn't like Xerath into the Zeri pick, so I was going to ask you whether you thought they'd be sending Veigar bot as he kind of put the cage on, and then Nile will be the newest Indy 500 driver skating around in a circle trying to avoid stuff.
I mean, honestly, I still think it makes not that much difference later on, because like
I thought the Veigar might be better bot lane here.
I don't even think so. I think the Xerath would be better bot lane.
This draft.
Like the Xerath would be better bot lane here just for.
I think it's going to be very challenging to play. It will really hinge on how the early game comes out.
Yeah, like Xerath, I think makes more sense bot lane because you get better poke in lane, and Veigar gets to scale like in mid lane, right? So I think that I would thought it make more sense that way. I don't even think Veigar trades that well into Zilean, support wise.
Yeah, the Veigar support is so low QE because you give up on Veigar's biggest strength, which is his just scaling. You want to give him the free stacks mid lane from farming, where you can kind of get away with it sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
So like he's going to be very gimped now for most of the game, but
I mean, what you're looking for is like Beans to make a huge like set or play, right? Like get one of the mega tanks, just dump them on the team and hope that it blows up someone.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know. Their draft has just really confounded me. They had the Veigar. I thought it was a fine mid pick, and they picked this Vayne, which seemingly answers the problem of the tanks being completely unkillable super gods, and they just don't spec for it at all. They moved Veigar into support. Maybe that was their original plan, but then Xerath. What does Xerath do in this comp? I know it is something that Adrian Celestion's quite comfortable on, but I can't say I'm a fan of this at all. They've kind of reverted to comfort, I guess.
Like, all he wants to do is poke. Like, all he wants to do is poke in team fights, right? But like, it's just not gonna happen. Like with the rest of his team, like they can't afford to sit back and wait. They kind of have to get into position and kind of force things on their end. So unless he gets really far ahead and he's just allowed to poke for ages in like these kind of stalemate fights, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I know. And other than the Veigar cage, there's really no lockdown for this Zeri.
No.
So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll go for a break for a minute and a half, and we'll get into the game and see if they can prove us wrong.
I'll switch over now. Touch guys a little bit. Three,
You pause.
2, 1, and go.
Okay, nice. Quick check on objective timers. Up. I hate when it bugs out. I guess let's quick rundown of what we've got is
Oh, is something gonna blow flash
they're
again?
they're going for something again. Didn't really capitalize on the last game, but guess worthwhile try.
Yeah.
To be honest, nothing too shocking here from either side. Celestion opting for the first strike. Kind of is ideal here. He needs to spike early and get ahead. That's the only way I see this really working for him. Some people would still opt for kind of sorcery tree, but
Yeah, so it looks like he's gonna start topside path towards bot lane. Maybe try impact that lane early if you can.
they do have the ward here on the red buff, so they will see Beans starting top side. They know where he is. Lush is going to be starting leashless on Raptors. And then Beans has the phase rush, which it's going to really not do anything for him late game, but it's going to really help him on ganks and mid game team fights. And I think that makes perfect sense, because if they haven't won by late game, it doesn't matter if he's going to have aftershock. The game is over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like early mid, that's when Seth really at his peak when it comes to like team leader, support, or jungler. So that's when you want to see him just kind of go for it.
Null and Sultan once again getting lane control. They do have that bit longer range. Sultan's poke's a lot easier to land than the Veigar poke. Both of them with spell teeth though, so expect a lot of trading. So they're kind of forced to walk up, and there's no really hard CC from either of them just yet.
Yeah.
Will be a lot dangerous once they get those level 2 and 3s. But yeah, the game kind of starting out the exact same as last. Both junglers clearing. Being skipping camps. So he's gonna fall behind in gold again compared to Lush, but maybe this is intentional here from Nile. Maybe he's doing it so he can path back top lane. But no, he's looking for an early mid gank again. Nice cage goes down. Sultan gets poked out a bit. Really nice there by Zerganks mid, and they do get now the gank on Dutch Source. He should just be able to blow the flash this game.
Ooh, okay.
Does very late. Personally, if I'm him, I'm just committing the flash. He's got to take it. And okay, Subdoodly, really unfortunate there, does not land the W. So Lush manages to escape after he gets caught out a bit.
Lush are struggling now with low HP, so he gets poked out on their tower.
Again, another cage by Zerganks mid. Really nice, but they have forced him to overextend here. That's Sultan dead, surely. Really nice by Beans there. And also the two bot laners, they really baited them in. If I'm in Nile Sultan's spot, I'm not really expecting Beans to be there. They know all the bot camps are down, so he shouldn't really be around. And all the cooldowns are burnt, but they just get his ass.
Yeah, he picks up the crab for himself, so he's not too behind on the counts now. So
meanwhile, Lush has gone for a bait. And also, in fairness to Act, this lane going a bit better than last game. He is effectively down CS, as there's a big wave for Subdued to pick up. But he's just bullying the ever-elving hill out of him, so it'd be interesting to see if Subdued can actually pick up all the CS here under Terror. See the bot lane kind of return to normalcy. Everyone trading. Subdoodly is indeed pressured off most of the CS, so Axion creates that CS lead for himself. Another wave crashes though.
So Lush is pathing towards bot lane at the moment.
Beats his top lane. I don't know. He knows the river is warded, so kind of hoping K'Sante maybe ever commits, but nothing really to trade back on. Elsewhere, Drake is up. He has snuck into the river, not the river, the lane bush. Sorry. Hex flashing out. Doesn't have flash. Axe will be forced to.
Okay.
So forces the flash out. Nicely done by Subdoodly. No flash to follow from Bean, so not realistic getting that kill, but take that. But
putting that pressure on all three lanes now so far. Gank each certain one, kill bot lane, sums in mid and top, like pretty good.
But Lush and the boys see that the set is top side, and they know this Drake is now free as they had bot pressure. So they're just gonna pick up this first Ocean Drake of the game for themselves, and I mean this is kind of what we saw last game as well. Beans not really prioritizing early Drakes. Maybe that could have been a game changer for them. We see Celestion go in, he is just going to go down. Maybe the rest of the team though can follow up and pick up a kill to trade back, but Beans isn't anywhere around, so just another kind of overcommittal there, going in 3v4.
Yep.
Maybe if Niall's closer, that's fine. Beans is closer. Should just sacrifice the Drake in that case, as their jungler's opted for the top side play.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just another pick off by Dutch Source on the Azir, like, just continuing on from the last game. So kind of another needless kind of throwaway kill by D tier. We'll see though. As you said, top lane not going nearly as well as it was in the last game for Substitute, so doesn't even have that pressure to kind of try and leverage anything from Duos yet, but it does have Wave Frozen in front of the tower, so...
Yeah, and Beans will have to go topside here as his camps are respawning. Red buff's up, Raptors are up. Might look to gank mid here as Celestion will need some help with his flash down. Looks like he's opted to go bot lane. You know, Celestion shoving in the wave, but so is Mezzy and Zero ganks mid. We do see the control ward in Tribush, so forcing Beans to go around. They get a quick cage onto Niall, but supremely uninterested in overextending. But you know, could be proven wrong here.
Oh!
As Sultan just hyper aware.
Hardly.
Throws in the bomb.
That's a lot of top wins for Beans as well.
Yeah. So kind of once again we're seeing the same repeat of last game where okay, the ult's coming out from Celestion. They could be able to pick this up, but Axion dodging everything and just killing Subduedly. So doesn't have flash up, so shouldn't be able to escape here, but he seems to just be outplaying the health, but it does not matter when there's two people hitting your head in, like. So okay, nice little roam there by Celestion. Nice attempt by Axion to outplay his way out of it, but
Yeah.
unfortunately the power of numbers is too much for him. But yeah, what I was trying to say there is we're kind of seeing a repeat of game one in that Beans has been really focused on trying to impact his lanes, and he has had a decent enough impact all around, but he's falling behind in golden XP as Lush is going to come in here with twisting and advance. Mezzy's dead, Zero ganks mid, has flash, and there's no CC to follow up, so he'll get out with his flash. That's a kill and 2 flashes for 1 flash and an exhaust. So
I feel like Mezzy could have ghosted down away from the ulti, gotten more space away from the outside, but I guess
he needs to really commit the ghost as early as possible to try and run it and maybe flash the last part, as you're unable to flash over Maokai ult. You can trust me on that, I've tried many times. Sultan bullying Celestion, who has no mana, so really can't help with this. They pick it up and should just run out, but K'Sante maybe.
Beans
No,
get out here.
Beans outplays it well. He ults the K'Sante, so he can't CC lock him, so his team can catch up for the Emperor's Divide or the Twisting Advance or anything. I think I've been saying Twisting Advance the whole time for Nature's Grasp. I have indeed.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Man, I can't remember a single fucking spell name. Never mind. That, like.
Yeah, Twisting Advance is the W. I've checked. But God, I just know this is an interesting old game now. Bot lane seeing it's going very well for D tier this game. The Veigar has been really oppressive from the looks of it. As I said, I think Vayne is usually quite good in this area.
Yeah.
So they have been doing quite well, except for that one hiccup with the Lush coming in. But other than that, I count mid lane is quite even. You know, Dutch did find that pick as we see Beans come in here, flash up for Axion, so it should be able to get out fine. But ults Beans into tower first. The combo's disgusting. Will get out here though fine, because set W just is what it is. Axion thinks he can win this 1v2, and I can tell you, I think he can as well. Let's see what he's got. He's gonna leave it a go though, because he noticed Celestion's missing, going for another roam. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, Maokai once again returning to the Drake. He sees set topside, realizes he gets another Drake uncontested. It's gonna be 2 Drakes.
Yeah, and has a 6 camp lead as well towards his own item, so he's just kind of out-farming Beans as well at a pretty fast pace.
Celestion opting to ult here. Don't think he's still Drake with it, but nice smite from Lush. Ult out, but I don't know, they're not really chasing up. I feel like Lush should be dead here. He is. Big shuffle again. Niall pumping out massive damage with his AoE. He should be able to pick up most of them, if not all. Nice little stun coming out of Celestion to save his life. In the end, trade 2 for 2, but most importantly, Lush gets the Drake.
I felt like D tier hesitated a lot there. I feel like they could have gone way harder on that engage after Beans had ultied Lush on top of his team. But they kind of just pulled back first and then went in. And I feel like they could have steamrolled the fight just a bit better.
Agreed. They definitely could have played a bit more proactively and aggressive. Yeah. They kind of let Dutch once again kind of walk into a nice position to get another massive Emperor's Divide. Hitting all 4 of the of D tier back into his team, low HP, allowing Niall to just use his built-in static shiv to just whittle away at all their HP.
Yeah, those Demonic Brace picked up by Lush, so he's already well ahead of a lot of people at this point. Like, something he does have his Ravenous already stacking, so at least that's something for them, but it's kind of already looking like they're in a really good position early on in the game.
Okay, we see Niall following in here. Lush flashes away from the cage over the wall. Follows the flash. I think that's going to be Zergang's dead. Yeah, should be very much so. Meanwhile, in the back line, Messi doing what he can. I don't know, he escapes for a while, but really nothing he can do. His team try to come follow up, but I think they've overcommitted on some dead soldiers. This is Saving Private Ryan all over again. Beans does make it out. Celestion has roamed down, which is going to allow Dutch Source to shove another wave into tower, maybe get a tower plate. If he's fast enough. Doesn't look like he is. And then directed camera once again just showing us top lane for no real good reason. Niall hammering away at this tower. Beans can run up, but he is not going to do anything to this absolute speed demon.
Teleports up subtly.
He should catch Niall, but he has flash up and he has a million speed, so Bean's not able to catch up, so no follow-up CC. And Sultan smartly, but Niall, oh my god, use your flash, thank god. They're gonna collapse now. Unfortunate that Q sends Subdoodly over the wall. I think he was potentially dead, but Sultan now caught out alone. He has the ulti up in case he wants to proc it. Celestion missing his abilities, not really what you want to see. Sultan kind of forced to walk diagonally, so will go down, does not pop the ult as he knows his team won't follow up. And D tier do pick up a kill for their troubles, but I don't know, a lot of messing around and Axion is sitting top lane pretty, smacking away at the turret.
Yeah, they will lose first tower though here.
Messi can turn this around. He almost does. He does. Great play by Messi here. He picks up on Niall. Messi can escape. The stealth absolutely immense. Zergang's going to need to be careful not to die here. Drops the ult. Beans pulls Lush away to save him, and that's really massive. This is going to give them the tank killing power that this Bane was picked for. He gets a shutdown on Niall, who's 3-0, so big gold swing, and then also picks up Lush, who's going to struggle to make it for a setup on the Drake now. It's spawning in a minute. He's up in 15 seconds. Ideally, D tier should have recalled already and be in the area controlling, but they're recalling quite late, so it's not actually going to impact at all.
Being top HP as well. Like, he'll regen some of that, but like...
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's on about 1800 gold, so... you know, I don't know, I assume he should be able to afford his mythic. Maybe not, but also important to note, neither jungler currently has smite up. Looks like Lush is going to get his up first, so nobody really going to potentially be able to contest this Drake on the spawn, but
Yeah, very good recall by Beans here.
Yeah, this is kind of a situation we've seen a lot. Celestion caught out, Beans recalling right before the objective when he really shouldn't, but Mezzi's found Dutch Source. He's overextended like hell. Dutch Source will blow ulti and shuffle his way out, but all it took was Mezzi's Ghost. He doesn't even have the ulti up yet. If he did, that's a kill. He'll have it up for the most all-important Drake fight. And that is gifted Drake control over on to the side of D tier, where by all means they shouldn't have it.
Lush is in the area. He can go for steal here if he so desires.
Dutch Source does have TP, so he is going to be able to TP in, but no Emperor Divide, and Celestion once again getting picked off. He's going to get ran down by Nile, but Drake should be gone. Late Smite almost goes over, but Beans picks it up in the end. Expect to see a lot of people go out. Axion holding his ult, trying to ult Mezzi out, but won't be able to. We see the ult go down to save his life, but somehow everyone from the side of D tier gets away there.
Yep,
they trade Celestion for the yeah, they trade Celestion for the Drake.
I mean, it's good. You take that, honestly. Should open up, then be able to push into mid and then grab this Herald to at least get something back for the trouble. But honestly, like, if you're D tier, that's not bad at all.
This could be very bad. Celestion's TPing in for a stun. He could be just one shot here. Okay. Maybe not the follow-up really ready to delete him. But starting the Herald.
We go for round 2? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them fighting this.
They're going for it.
But they're going all in. Don't see who picked it up right now. Just come up my screen.
Seems like it's blue side.
Yeah, looks like blue side, but nobody picked it up, so pointless in the end. Yeah, I guess they get the 50 gold from killing it, or whatever, like.
Yeah, and it's getting forced back.
Yeah.
So let's see, where are we at now? So Vayne about halfway towards her Rage Blade. Nothing too bad.
And important to note is, despite being 2 and 3 and CS down, ahead of Zeri in gold. Don't ask me how. I love League of Legends. And then elsewhere on the map, Celestion has a gold lead on Dutch Source. Kind of expect that, considering he's been farming quite well, but I don't think that's going to be a big impact, as Dutch Source is a lot better in team fights. Really the only person on the side of Losing Peace that has any kind of gold lead here is Lush. But
he still feels more massively impactful in these fights, so.
Yeah, it definitely seems more impactful, but in fairness to Beans now, he's been getting in, making a nuisance of himself, and just like Houdini, he's just been disappearing on 500 HP and surviving God knows how. Kind of magic disappearance act from him constantly. Which I can only but give credit for.
Yeah.
Baron spawning in 10.
So he's ready to just zoom on in there. Not much for them to do right now though. The Dragon in 2 minutes. No one's really going to go for Baron this early on, unless there's a big pick-off somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we do see Zero Gang Speed running in, TP coming, they could collapse here. It's going to be the Aatrox. The movement speed coming out of this is absolutely filled. Counter TP from K'Sante, blows the flash out of Sultan. So they trade TPs plus a flash, which, I mean, if I'm D tier, by the way, I'm happy with. I think it's okay. Obviously, you want to catch the Zeri out, and they do catch K'Sante. Not like you're going to kill him, though. But they do force his ult out as well, so kind of getting a lot of cooldowns here. And Dutch Source caught out. Misses all the follow-up CC, so he will go down here.
Okay. I mean, they're posturing towards the Baron, but it feels kind of dodgy in this angle. You've got Maokai up and available to lock him into an area.
Yeah, they definitely can do the Baron with Vayne with Rage Blade, but you know, they don't have the Shurima Shuffle, they don't have the Emperor Divide to kind of defend against it, but you're playing against a Maokai, a Zeri, even the Zilean. Like there's a lot of AoE which they can kind of do. Sultan might get caught out here. He does get pulled back. They'll use the Chrono Break, and Niall pumping out as much damage as he can. Exhaust goes down on Bean, so he'll fall to Mezzy. Nature's Grass coming in. It's a bit wide, but Subduedly will go down, and they're all low HP, and they're all gonna fall. No,
that's a lot.
Okay, I speak too soon. I thought Axiom was maybe falling in on the flank a bit closer, but no, they do manage to make it out. But this could be Baron. Should also be mid lane tower. Being standing on wards, they can see him. He does have flash, so he can flash in. They have vision as well. The ward should stay alive for the whole thing. But here comes Dutch Source. Here comes the Emperor's Divide. Nice little poke by Celestion. Okay. Nice attempt by Beans. Celestion flashes out. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear. Dutch Source. In fairness, he was due a misplay eventually. He has been a bit too flawless so far.
Yep. However, team does pick up Baron off the back of that, so.
And they're running straight to the Drake that just spawned, which will be third Drake.
Aatrox is in the flank though. It's going right Annihilation.
Niall will E out, but can still hit over the wall on Subduedly, who is just going to fall for his troubles. His teammates unable to follow up. Kind of lacking cooldowns after that pick on Dutch Source. So Drake should go over here to Lush. Adrian a bit late on the ulti. Gets 1 or 2 hits on Niall, but he will escape to safety. And here's that gold swing. Once again, we see Annihilation pick up a bunch of kills and just generally do his job. He's just pumping out damage. And he's not doing anything particularly flashy. He's just he's doing anything and everything you would ask him.
And he's got his Ravenous now as well. Able to start stacking that up. On top of looking like it's working towards, I think, PD. So he's going to be pumping out damage very, very quickly in these fights.
Definitely, and you know, if you're D tier, you're kind of running into this issue that I was talking about. Is you don't have any real like CC or anything to deal with this Zeri, especially with the amount of movement speed this Zilean's going to be providing her. Let alone the fact that he hasn't even had to use that Chrono Break on the Zeri yet, or Chrono Shift on that Zeri yet. So even if you do kind of manage to switch on whatever evil's plan you have, he does have a second life. Tower goes down, obnoxious Zeri W goes out.
So the trade top lane in the meantime, so yeah, very much control here for blue side.
Yeah, Bean's going for his red buff. He gets spotted by the Maokai sapling, so they know he's there. But they're gonna opt to clear out their side waves that were shoved in the meantime, so Act getting bot lane and Dutch Source making sure Subduedly doesn't get any more of those objective bounties. I don't know, this is mental.
Yeah, it's tough. Like again, like it just requires Eric getting so much free poke on before these fights even start. But it's not really happening because things are happening too fast.
Big chunk out onto Zero Gang's mid. But yeah, interesting to note, like the gold lead is only about 1k, but they do have these objective bounties. Bean's caught out here, doesn't have flash up, is going to be CC'd into infinity, will just go down. Tries his best.
No
damage and poke coming out of the wall, but kind of meaningless. And Dutch Source in the meantime just whacking away at top tower, doing his best Subduedly cosplay on the split push. Will get matched by the man himself and could potentially be poked out here, but does always have that safety from the shifting sands. And I guess it's just a reset here. Losing Peace going bot lane, gonna go aim for the other tier 2. and Beans respawning now, so we'll be back on the map.
Does have his heart steel second item, so could do a bit of work here if he wanted to. But again,
Ganks mid running at Nile. Doesn't have teammates, so isn't going to do anything. Nile has flash and he flashes away. Axiom coming in, and I don't know. I like the idea. Great TP flanking. Quick Emperor's Divide. Azir goes down though, but the two kind of front lines have fallen from the side of D tier. They're getting a lot of poke on the follow-up, but Mezzi caught should go down here. He's escaping. No, he is not. I lied. The quick Chrono Shift brings Lush back into life after his tower dive. And yeah, kind of the story of this game. The set and the Aatrox got a massive flank there, but he's behind and unable to do anything. The set is just simply not tanky enough. They don't have enough front line, so they kind of get deleted instantly by kind of the Fed carries. I say Fed carries, the Fed carry with Annihilation, and
yeah,
have no response. They're not able to burn through this Cassante at the same speed at all.
Yeah, like full stacks on that Ravenous as well. Like he's just like melting through them at the moment in all these fights. There's just so much AoE splash damage from Ravenous Tiger as well. Like it's just fucking disgusting, honestly.
The damage that Lush is Beans. It was lovely knowing you, buddy. Honestly, just get out of fat thingy, but here comes Dutch Swords. Please get your ulti. Oh god. The worst part is Mezzi falls, so I don't think it's even gonna matter. Annihilation is low though, but meanwhile Lush and Axiom just bopping people. Yeah. Down goes Beans, down goes Axiom. The ult comes out on Nile for safety in case Celestion trades back, but Axiom's behind. He does have a decent little off. Bop, bop, bop. Now back to full HP. They're gonna go mid lane for the inhib because they have the wave there. It's just Zero Ganks mid left. He's gonna try and pick up Axiom, but unfortunately Axiom does not take damage. Rest in peace, Zero Ganks mid. Your ulti felt like it dealt damage. And this is just...
I mean, enough members are up now that they shouldn't be able to score. The game feels all but done as is. Portal out.
They're gonna fall back. Clear the blue buff.
Get Soul.
Kill not... Oh, as he TP's in. Get Soul. This is just disgusting to watch. Flash out of Sultan. They're trying to keep this guy away, but Beans is just not going to be able to steal this, despite his best efforts. You hate to see it, but it is what it is. Messi needs to be careful because he's going to go down here. Zach's seen it, he's not careful. Or Dutch Scene gets the Emperor's Divide we're waiting for last time. He does fall. Nature's Grasp picks up Zero Ganks mid, and unfortunately dies for his ulti. Cast time goes off. Yeah, this has just been, I guess, a bit of an AD superclass or masterclass here by Annihilation. Celestion does get his closing remarks on Dutch Source, but it hasn't really mattered this game. Subduedly trying his best, falls, and really just have to say what a supreme display of skill here by Lush and Axiom. They are just old school Katarina. I'm going to hit all of my buttons now and I'm going to kill you. But in this case, they're also just impossible to kill.
Yep.
I really do, have to say, like, I hope their faces don't hurt too much after this game with the amount of face rolling they're doing. But on a more technical side, really nice positioning and just kiting from Nile. He's been
he's on a tear this game. Like
really playing at his range, and Sultan really hasn't had to do anything, which isn't really a comment on him, but more a comment on the fact that Nile's managed to keep himself away from any sort of form of danger. So we are going to see Beans go across.
Okay, God vision.
I'm dead. I'm just running away. Might pick up Dutch Source. Not a hope. Celestion not on the same wavelength. Oh, almost.
No, don't get the other.
But yeah, one man down. Dutch Source can recall with TP and he's fine.
Big
They get the double bomb, so now Sir Gangsman is half HP and about to pick up another Maokai sapling perhaps. Will not be able to enter this fight. Axion just running at people. I swear Mezzy is supposed to kill tanks on Vayne. I promise you that is the case. It may not look like it. Unlucky for Celestion, he gets picked up by Nile. Yeah, like Nile pumping out damage. Dutch Source doesn't even want to show up. He's ending the game, and there's just nothing you can do. It is a bit of a draft gap, unfortunately. I really have nothing else to say here. Dave, do you have any comments you want to do, or do you want to do Ace and MVP?
We could do an Ace and MVP. Just bring up the scoreboard here. But yeah, like Ace, I would definitely give to Yeaton Beans. I think like he did what he was set out to do, at least early on. He impacted all 3 lanes. He blew sums. He got a kill bot lane. Try to get Messi ahead. So like he definitely tried to make like early proactive plays, which was nice. It's just unfortunately after that he kind of fell off in terms of like again like his passing, falling behind in jungle camps, not really being able to continue that sort of impact. So wasn't really kind of able to steamroll for his team. And then MVP Annihilation. Easy, like just like fucking masterclass in like ADC and Zeri plays like just kited really well. Again, as you said, something didn't have to do all that much in those fights to kind of keep him up, and yeah, he just kind of steamrolled it from there.
Yeah, I'd definitely have to agree with you on that. Nile is definitely the MVP for Game 2, and I'd say for the series as a whole. Maybe went a bit unnoticed despite his KDA in Game 1, but really consistently performing at a high level this series.
Absolutely.
And I guess just commiserations to D tier. They did get very close in the Game 1. I think they had the opportunity to win that. Gave a banger of a game.
Yep.
But this Game 2, it was a bit unwinnable from the draft phase, unfortunately for them. So an unfortunate game to end on for them. You know, I would have liked to see a repeat of Game 1, but I mean, well played for everyone involved. Exactly.
But that will be it for tonight. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you, Sam, for joining in on the cast.
Thank you for streaming.
Yeah. It was a bit rusty, so hopefully everything came across well. But yeah, cheers guys. We shall talk to you next time. Take it easy.
Okay. Good night, gents.